righty, so we spoke with a financial expert earlier this week about how the fiscal cliff will impact your tax return and my tax return this year. He told us since nobody knows, it's important to talk with a tax professional, so that's what we're going to do today. Joining us today to help answer that question and to tell us what steps to take now to get our taxes in order is Pam McClure. Pam is the tax advisor and office manager with H&R Block in Dover. Thanks for coming in, Pam.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, this whole fiscal cliff agreement thing. What kind of changes, if any at all, can I expect to see in my taxes?
Well, there are some good news. The good news is if you make less than $400,000 per year, then there's not going to be any changes in your tax rate. So that is good news. And there's also some popular tax credits also that's been extended. So for 2012 tax year, you're going to see that there's not going to be any changes in the child tax credit. There will not be any changes in the earned income tax credit or the education credit. And so those are some pretty popular credits that will still be available for tax year 2012.
Okay, let's talk returns for a second. We've heard rumors that there may be a delay in the return, I'm sorry, not the returns, but the refunds, in our tax refunds. There might be a delay?
Well, what happened was the original date that was set for electronically filing was January 22nd, and that has been pushed back 8 days to January 30th. So the delay is only in the electronic filing. It's not in the actual refunds as far as we know at this point.
Okay, so let's go through the steps of getting ready for our taxes. I guess paperwork, it's pretty important now to get all that together.
Yes, it is. You want to start preparing everything for your taxes. The most common things you want to look for is, of course, everything that you receive in the mail that is marked tax document. And also some other documents are income documents, your W-2s, your 1099 forms, interest and dividend statements, any statements from your mortgage company, from your tax advisors. If you sold stock, then you would want a statement from them. Any charities that you have given to, expect statements from them as well. And the more complicated returns, you might have more paperwork. So you want to check with your tax advisor to see exactly what you need to bring.
Tax advisor is a good idea. What are some of the more common deductions that people miss?
The often missed deductions are the miscalculation of the earned income tax credit, and oftentimes people select the wrong filing status as well. So you want to get guidance on that, and also the education credit. That is one of the most commonly missed deductions as well.
So the best way for me to avoid that kind of mistake is?
The best way to avoid, the reason why taxpayers miss those deductions is because they try to do it themselves. And just like any do-it-yourself project, sometimes things are overlooked.
Right.
And you want to meet with a tax advisor and get someone that could support you in that process.
Complicated issue there.
It is. It's very complicated.
Now, if I realize that I've missed some deductions from the past, how far back can I go?
The IRS allows actually for 3 years. You can get a refund for the last 3 years. So we're talking about 2009, 2010, and 2011. You can amend the tax return for 3 years.
Okay, so we're dealing with a lot here, and it's got to be meticulous. What if we think we need more time? What's the best thing to do?
The deadline, as we know right now, is April 15th. There is an additional 6 months by filing for an extension on or before that date, April 15th. And that allows for 6 more months. So you're looking at somewhere around October 15th. Gives you that much time to file your tax return. However, we do not recommend that you wait that long because your penalties and interest are still going to accrue on any balances due.
Even if we file for an extension. And if we're going to do an extension, we need to do that as quickly as possible.
Yes, on or before the 15th of April.
All righty. Pam, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Some wonderful information. This is going to come in handy very quickly. Now, if you would like a paperwork checklist or maybe even to check out the H&R Block Tax Estimator Calculator, all you have to do is go to DelmarvaLife.com and click on the Show tab. Well, still ahead on Delmarva Life, are you having trouble understanding Obamacare? There's a lot to it. And up next, we learn more about the changes that might impact you as you try to take care of yourself and your loved ones. But first, while we're talking about health, Dr. Oz has more on the link between diabetes and Alzheimer's and how you can reduce your risk.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. If you have diabetes or prediabetes, it increases your risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. New research shows that if you don't have diabetes in your body, you can still have it in your brain. Certain toxic fats can create insulin resistance that kills brain cells. Now, to reduce your risk, avoid smoked meats, processed foods, white flour, and sugar.